Okay, moving along towards my second part of my shoulder trigger, I'll be going over evaluation criteria for each image demonstrated and as well as ballpark technique. I'll be starting off with the AP shoulder projection with internal rotation, and the goal for this image is to have a lesser tubercle in profile and pointing medially, and the outline of the greater tubercle superimpositioned with the humeral head, and the greater amount of the humeral overlap of the glenoid cavity than it would be seen in the external or neutral position. So here we have greater tubercle superimposed over humeral head, superimposition here of the humeral head in the glenoid cavity, and then lesser tubercle in profile. And ballpark technique for this projection would be, since we're using Waldbicke, 85/10 would be appropriate. Moving along here to the second projection, AP shoulder projection with external rotation, and the goal here is to have the humeral head in profile as well as the greater tubercle, and we're looking for scapulohumeral joint visualized slightly overlapped with the humeral head in the glenoid cavity, and then outline of lesser tubercle between the humeral head and greater tubercle if seen. So here we have our scapulohumeral joint and our greater tubercle in profile, as well as the humeral head as well. And ballpark technique for this projection would stay the same at 85/10 since we're still using the Waldbicke. Moving along here to RPA oblique projection of the shoulder, also known as the scapular Y. And for this image, we're looking out for just proper collimation. We want the humeral head and glenoid cavity superimposed right here. And we're also looking out for the humeral shaft and scapular body superimposed as well. So right down through here. And looking out for no superimposition of the scapula over bony thorax. So we want a nice little gap in between here. And the chromium projection projected laterally and free of superimposition. Coracoid possibly superimposed or projected below the clavicle. The scapula in a lateral profile. And soft tissue and bony trabecular detail. And since this image is a lateral and we're also using Waldbicke, an appropriate technique would be 85/18 ballpark. Moving along here, last but not least, last image, superior inferior axial projection of the shoulder joint. Evaluation criteria for this image is just to have proper collimation. Scapulohumeral joint visible. Coracoid process projected above the clavicle. Lesser tubercle in profile. AC joint through humeral head. And then soft tissue in the axilla with bony trabecular detail visible. And for this projection, we're actually using tabletop, so our technique would be decreased to a 75/5 technique. And this concludes my shoulder trigger. Thank you.